I don't know how many more times I gotta say this, but I'm gonna say it for the last time. Qalanui out. Boys and girls, this is gonna be your guys' review for Uzbekistan's 1-0 win over Iran in the CAF Nations Cup final. So the CAF Nations Cup has finally concluded. Thank God. This tournament was so frustrating to watch for the Iranian national team as an Iranian national team fan, but as a silver lining, I gotta give credit to one certain national team that definitely deserves some flowers from this tournament. Big shout out to India. They actually finished in third place in this tournament, but outside of that, Mickey Mouse all around. In regards to the match, let's talk about it. I'm not going to really edit this review at all. I don't think I'm going to be doing any editing for this because I just want to get it out there. It's going to be raw reaction, raw emotion. So I hope you all enjoy this type of video. But when it comes to the match, starting lineup, super wank, just really bad. Moghalu starting, a mixture of just weird players in weird positions. Yet again, that's been the theme of this tournament. Then began the beginning to the end with Arya Yousefi. I feel really bad for him getting a red card in literally the 3rd minute of the match. It's very unfortunate. Was it a red? I think it was kind of harsh. I think it probably was the right call, but that was kind of the beginning to VAR FC in this match. It was just constantly VAR decisions throughout the entirety of this match. Arya Yousefi's red card, which I think for the most part was deserved. Was it harsh? I do think a little bit because there wasn't necessarily any intention or venom, him trying to go in and stomp in for that tackle, but it was kind of a bad stomp in the Achilles area. So a red card, I think, is fine, but it kicked off the beginning of a bunch of VAR calls throughout this match. And then it was pretty much just Iran parking the bus and Uzbekistan peppering them throughout the game. That's all we saw. Unfortunately for Uzbekistan, but fortunately for the Iranian national team, they could not capitalize. They just could not finish throughout this game. It was just them stringing a lot of great half chances together, some decent chances in front of goal. They just couldn't put it away, or they didn't have the clinical striker to lace up their boots and just put it in the back of the net. And Uzbekistan had chance after chance after chance, and the Iranian national team was just hanging on to dear life throughout that match. We did see some substitutions after Arya Yousefi got sent off. We saw Hossein Zadeh, which I think was so dumb when it came to the substitutions, him getting subbed out to bring in Ramin Rezaeian as the right back replacement. But of all the players, man, I would not have subbed out Hossein Zadeh. He's been one of the bright spots throughout this tournament. I think he has looked very good. He's one of the younger players I actually think would benefit from playing in this tournament, playing in this final. But he gets subbed out after 15 minutes. Ramin Rezaeian comes on. Moghalu gets hurt after 25 minutes. Taremi comes on. Then in the second half, we take off Ghorbani, who I felt was our best player throughout the match. I thought Ghorbani looked amazing, sensational. That was the type of performance I've been wanting to see from Ghorbani in the national team. He was running back and forth, making great tackles, stringing the play together the best that he could. And I thought he looked really good. He was a refreshing player in this XI, but we subbed him out for old man Cheshmi. I'm sorry, Erfan, but no, that was not the move. And it was just more and more of Iran playing defense, trying to create some half chances. And I will say, all in all, even though Iran were down to 10 men, it couldn't really bring much together, couldn't really get any offensive momentum going. There were chances. One of them in particular was when Taremi slipped in Saman Ghodus. He had a half-decent opportunity to shoot the ball, but Ramin Rezaeian was wide open in the middle, and if he just chose to pass that, Ramin was probably going to tuck it, and Iran could have probably sailed away with that 1-goal lead and just played defense throughout it, because they pretty much did it for the whole 120 minutes, right until the end. And then other than that, Iran just looked very poor. They didn't really create anything. They did have that penalty call that was given, then was overturned by VAR. If I'm going to be honest, I said it during my live stream, I didn't think it was a penalty. Kanani sticks his leg out to the Uzbek goalkeeper. He doesn't actually challenge for the ball. It was definitely a dive and an embellishment. I was a little surprised he didn't get a yellow, unless he did. You guys got to fact check me on that. But I don't think that was a penalty. Then as well, Ali Janov, who ended up being the guy to score the winning goal, did get a red card. Then it got overturned. As I said, it was a big theme of just VAR, VAR, VAR. That's what we saw a lot fought throughout the match, and it was very frustrating because it really was like making the game's momentum constantly stop. It was stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And that was kind of the frustrating part throughout watching this game, was the constant stopping and going because of referee decisions. But yeah, Uzbekistan got a red card, ended up getting overturned. I think it would have been cool if the red card was given because it was somewhat of a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Yes, the defender was still there, but I think Taremi was away at that moment. And I think it would have been like a 2v1 type situation. So I didn't mind the red card. I think it balanced it out with Yusufi's red card, but that ended up getting overturned. But again, I'm not the type of person to complain about the referees because I think the referee was fine. I just think what was frustrating was the constant stop and goes with the VAR reviews for Yusufi's red card, the penalty that Iran did get, then got overturned, then the red card that Uzbekistan then got, and then came in extra time, a penalty for Uzbekistan, which was like 100% a clear penalty for Uzbekistan, no question about it. And by a massive shock, Shomurodov missed the penalty. I was absolutely dumbfounded by it. He didn't even it wasn't even saved. It was just straight ballooned over the bar. And it was kind of just the theme for Uzbekistan throughout all these matches between them and Iran is they just cannot capitalize, finish off the game, and actually go out and win it. But in the 120th minute, Ali Janov got the goal. The man that got sent off, then didn't get sent off thanks to VAR, scored the goal. It was deserved all in all for Uzbekistan. They were the better team. Iran, their luck was bound to run out. We have played Uzbekistan, 5 or 6 times in the last 2 years under Qalanoui. We hadn't won any of the matches. And some of those instances, Uzbekistan deserved to have won the game. They just couldn't capitalize on any of their chances. If they actually took it to Iran, I think Uzbekistan could have had a couple of wins under their belt. But you know what? The dam finally broke. Uzbekistan got their win. They win the CAF Nations Cup. Whoop-de-doo. What did we learn from this? Still the same thing we've been talking about. Amir Qalanoui needs to kick rocks. I'm so tired of watching these dead selections, tactics, decisions from Amir Qalanoui. I'm not expecting us to be like prime Manchester City, prime Barcelona, tiki-taka, beautiful football. But it's like the way you were watching the Iranian national team play, it looks like a team that has no hope. No identity, no nothing. They don't have defense. They don't have offense. They have no fluidity. It's like what I've seen throughout the years of watching football. It's like a team that knows their coach is bound to get sacked and there's no motivation to play under this coach. And that's what it looks like for the Iranian national team. This team looks so unmotivated because it's so all over the place. There's the unks that shouldn't even be playing, like the likes of Rezayan, Cheshmi. Taremi just shouldn't be getting called up right now because he just signed for Olympiacos. He should be in Greece right now. Jahanbakhsh, I love the guy, but he's a free agent. He shouldn't be here right now. And the list goes on. Then you see guys like Hosseinzadeh, Jalali, Ghorbani, Kushi, these type of players that should be playing in these games because I understand the CAF Nations Cup isn't ideal for Iran. Other national teams, like we're seeing Japan and South Korea play against the US, Mexico, and other South American national teams. And I believe Uzbekistan is going to play against Argentina the next international window. While we're playing in this tournament and then playing against Russia, yes, that sucks. But within our own control, Amir Qalanoui, what can you do? You can actually prep the team and start building in newer players that actually have a future for this national team. I hate how I have to constantly repeat myself time and time again about this, but I'm getting so tired of it. I'm so tired of Amir Qalanoui. If Uzbekistan had that just ounce more of quality throughout this game, this easily could have been a 4 or 5-0 loss for Iran. Yes, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but Iran could have lost this game 2 or 3-0 if Uzbekistan had an actual clinical striker, just clinical offensive, keen eye to score more goals because they could have easily destroyed Iran if they had that instinct to do so. Iran were hanging on to dear life. They had no tactics throughout this game. It was just Taremi and inshallah something's going to happen. There were so many times we saw Taremi on the break with nobody around him. Nothing he can do. I will say, the likes of Taremi, Jahanbakhsh, I think played fine. They did a good job. But it's just like, these guys are just clearly not the guys anymore. Taremi had a really bad game last time. Jahanbakhsh has had many bad games. I still think they have quality. They should be around the national team. I still think Taremi can be the guy. But the wheels are starting to fall off with these players. We need to start building a new future for the national team. And Qalanoui, I don't care if the World Cup is less than a year away. He needs to go. If Iran won any hope going into this World Cup, Galanui needs to go because we are playing this bad against the likes of North Korea, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, who granted no discredit to Uzbekistan because I think they're a good national team, but Iran used to be miles ahead of them. And the fact that they've evened out the playing field in such a short period of time just shows how much we have fallen off. We can't hold leads. We are conceding constantly to the likes of Tajikistan, North Korea, Kyrgyzstan. These are the minnows that don't even qualify for World Cups. Unlike us, I can't imagine when we go up against the Spains, the Colombias. Oh man, we're gonna get ran circles over. It's just gonna look embarrassing. And this Amir Khalenoui experiment has been long dead. This dude, after the Asian Cup, should have been fired because he said, I'm going to bring in the younger players. You fat liar. You kubide munching liar, Khalenoui. That's what you are. You're a liar because he has done nothing but digress this national team centuries back to the dinosaur ages. That's what this dude has done. And this CAF Nations Cup, again, has embodied the biggest issues with this national team. Yes, we beat Afghanistan. Yes, we beat India. We didn't even look that great in those games. Yeah, we played Aliyari. Like, who the frick cares? Who cares? Why are these old heads, Mokhalu, Aliyari, these type of players playing for this national team right now? What are we doing, man? It's just so frustrating and so tiring, and I'm so tired about talking about the same stuff. And I think I just should close it off with this. Congrats to Uzbekistan. You guys won the CAF Nations Cup. You got revenge from the last time we beat you guys in the final. You finally get your first win against Iran, and God knows how long. Iran are just keeping up records of getting red cards. I believe every 3 games the Iranian national team gets a red card since Khalenoui has been the head coach. Talk about just undisciplined. Because that's what we are, is we are undisciplined. That is what this national team is. It is a mess. It is undisciplined. And that's all thanks to Amir Khalenoui. Do I think he'll get fired? Probably not. I do plan on doing a video where I talk about some coaching options that we could look to find for the national team before the World Cup. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. It's whatever. More videos to come on the channel. Boys and girls, if you're a big fan of Asian football, but more specifically the Iranian national team, this is the channel that you need to be at. So make sure to subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video next, and then make sure to click over here as I post content weekly on the channel and you don't want to miss it. But boys and girls, I hope you'll have a lovely day.